Hey guys and gals, this is Military Comedy with another episode of Kingdoms and Castles. So in my last video of They Are Billions, I had asked for more suggestions on what to talk about, and one of my subscribers left me a very good idea to talk about politics this episode and current events, and well, not just that, he gave a whole bunch of specifics he wanted me to talk about. And a lot of them are very controversial things right now, and I don't know if it's the best idea for me to talk about them. But the ones that I can, I at least the ones that I feel comfortable about talking about, are my stances on like capitalism versus socialism. And if you guys don't want to listen to this, I'm gonna actually start talking about the game itself in about 5 minutes. I just wanted to talk a little bit about one of the suggestions he had. And for me, the idea of socialism, it sounds like a really good thing in concept, but once you actually start to put it into effect, it doesn't work, and there's no way around that, to be completely honest. Because socialism, in essence, if you have someone who's a complete genius and he goes to college for 8 years to get his PhD and whatever, and then he goes to work as, let's say, like an engineer, he still wouldn't be making more than, let's say, someone who went to work at McDonald's, because socialism in essence would say that, oh, since socialism, everyone should be treated equally and be given the same amount of like stuff. They end up kind of getting screwed over. But capitalism has some, I can't say it's a perfect system because everything has flaws, and but it's definitely a lot closer in my opinion. If you disagree with it, there's nothing I can't argue with you on it, because it's an opinion, because I can't back it with facts right now. I don't have them readily available, but anyone who's kind of just kept up to date with current events and local, well, not local, well, yeah, kind of local like situations, but if you keep up with current events and in a relatively updated history, socialism just never works, especially when you've got a good thing going like Venezuela did with all of its oil reserves, and then it just kind of got screwed over because it tapped out of those oil reserves, and now people are literally eating animals because they don't have enough, like literally eating like rats and stuff because they don't have enough food to sustain themselves. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not just rambling like I feel like I am again. But anyways, welcome back to Kingdoms and Castles, guys. I'm gonna try to actually make some kind of schedule, because I've got a little over 100 subscribers now, and I said that once I had 100 subscribers I'd think about it. So I think every other day I'm going to be doing Kingdoms and Castles, and then the off day I'll be doing They Are Billions, and then once I've done enough of those to the point where people are kind of getting bored of it, I'll start to expand outward, because I was thinking about doing games like RimWorld and possibly Kingdom Come Deliverance, because those are other games that I have and I currently love to play. But I didn't really talk too much about this game, because last time when I was playing it, it was more or less just a test to make sure that it was working. And so I want to talk a little bit about this game. So obviously you have your kingdom here, your keep, it's a castle obviously, and your goal here is to build this your civilization, I guess. And obviously you have these basic resources over here. So you have wood, you have stone, you have charcoal. I believe that's food, and then tools, then armor, or one of those is iron, one of them is tools, and then armor, and then gold. And everything has a specific purpose, just like every game. Wood, for instance, is what you need to build like basic housing, and just the basics of everything. It's incredibly important. And then stone is when you can. Stone is what you need for more advanced buildings. For instance, this cottage here is like the tech up, I guess, of the hovel. So people who live here are happier, and there's more people that can live there, and it's just all around better than the words are failing me right now. The hovel. So yeah, I mean, this game here it's a very laid back game. It's very hard to lose unless you put it on the hardest difficulty, because then you can lose. But right now, since I put it on medium difficulty, it's actually not impossible to lose, just extremely difficult. Because what would basically have to happen is you'd have to have a Viking invasion that just demolishes everything, including your keep itself. and I believe you can lose that way. I might be wrong because I've never actually done that poorly in the game, so don't quote me on that. I know that there's dragon, what do you call them? Dragon sightings, and then once you get later on in the game, the dragons will actually start to attack, and they're just all around a pain in the neck. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because not much is getting done. I don't have enough villagers because I'm using everyone in my stone mines and then my orchards to get food. So I'm trying to attract more villagers right now, so I can start getting more, what would you call it, like more necessities done, because I need a charcoal maker, because that's one of the happiness factors. And I'm doing my best, I promise, to say less, and I know I'm probably failing epically because it's one of my nervous tics, so I'm sorry about that. Don't hate me. And as you guys just saw me do, I put a charcoal maker down because I want my people to be happier. I want to attract more people, and I want to get further along in this game. And once I get some more people, I think the next thing I'm going to make is a forester. Where is that? It might be under industry. Yes, it is. And it's just because they chop trees and then they place down trees. So like it makes trees sustainable instead of non-renewable. I'm trying to think of smart words and it's just not working very well. I had a really long day at work because I work at a wood shop. I'm kind of a low-end apprentice, and it's a good job. I love the job and everything, but oh man, is it a pain in the neck most of the time because I'm 6'3", and a lot of the time, if there's anything up high, they ask me to go get it, and then I have to stretch and get it, and it's just not too fun. But that's not the worst of it, because they were mad at me this morning because I turned in my my 2 weeks notice a while ago because I'm gonna try to get I already have the job at the railroad. I'm just waiting now, but I have as I just said, a job at the railroad, and so this morning they were mad at me. At least I think they were mad at me. I don't even know. And they sent me to the this one house they actually bought across the street, and they kind of refurbished it and they were selling it. And so I'm there, and like I was in the basement and I was just sweeping everything, like all this dirt and rocks and dust. And man, this basement was probably like 6 feet high, and I kept hitting my head every time I walked in there, every time I walked in the middle because it had like a low-hanging beam. I probably hit my head about 1,000 times. And it was not a good day for me. And so right now I'm kind of tired, but I am really looking forward to seeing your guys' response to this video. I love this game, and I love seeing your guys' reactions. And so I think I'm going to try to do a little, what would you call it, like a challenge. So currently I haven't been posting that long of videos. They're 15 to 20 minutes. And so I think with this episode, if I can get to 25 likes, I'm going to post a half-hour long episode of whatever game you guys like more. I'm probably going to be this game. It might be They Are Billions. Just leave a comment of which one you prefer, and whichever one has more comments I'll go for. But I definitely love this game. I love the art style for it and the simplicity behind it, because it's not nerve-wracking. It's low stress, and it's a really beautiful game, because honestly, if you really had the time for it, you could like make up little stories for every one of the little people you've got. Let me pause it. So you can click on them, and it'll kind of tell you a little bit about them. So he ate too much, and he's an apprentice stone cutting, and an apprentice at wood cutting. And the more they do stuff, the higher up they get. So eventually you'll have like grand masters who will be able to get resources faster than, let's say, an apprentice. And it's just a little interesting game because you don't have to take it 100% seriously, but if you wanted to, you could actually kind of roleplay with all your characters. And I don't know if everyone's into that or whatever, but I definitely kind of like it. It's just kind of tricky in this game because eventually you have 500 people in your city. Ooh, dragon sighting. So since this is, that's a big one. But since this is early on, this dragon is just going to look around and decide which of my villagers looks tasty enough, and then he'll come back later and decide to try to eat some. But for now, he's just going to scout ahead. And I hope he doesn't bother me because I don't have the ability to really fight him right now. All I've got is, farmers and villagers and nothing exciting. Oh, that reminds me. I need a well, because wells are used for, whatever wells are used for, they have water. And so if you get attacked by a dragon, then if you have a well nearby, your villagers will come to the rescue and stop everything from burning down. And it's just it's a cool little cinematic when they're like all running back and forth trying to stop the fire from burning down everything. And it's another one of the reasons why I love this game so much. It's because they do put so much, or whoever made this game, I don't remember it off the top of my head, just put so much effort into this game, making it believable. And, well, obviously not believable because there's freaking dragons flying around, but they put the effort to make it at least semi-realistic. So it's not like if you have, like, people aren't going to run all the way to the ocean to get a bucket of salt water, because salt water, I believe, doesn't put out fires as well as normal water. And so they'll just run to the nearest well and call it a day. And there's so much with this game that I love, that I think does right. And keep in mind with it that it's still in early access, and I believe they keep updating it. Because last time I had been playing, there wasn't this maritime thing. And so I think when you have a map that has islands now, like over here, I can't get to this island, but I could eventually build an outpost here. And then if I have a dock, then they could trade resources, and I could have a little mini civilization over there. And that's a cool thing they put in that I actually kind of wanted before I start, or when I started playing it about a month back, because I had been watching other YouTubers play. That's actually kind of the main reason I decided I wanted to make a YouTube account and do video gaming, was because I'd seen so many YouTube videos of people playing games, and they always sound so happy, and they sound like they're having a great time. And to be completely honest, I am too. I love this game, and I love seeing your guys' comments and seeing my views go up and my sub count go up. It makes me feel like I'm actually getting through to some people, like having a good time, helping people have a good time. And I know I'm probably not the I definitely know I'm not the best commentator out there, because there's been people, or there are people who've been doing this for years now, and I've been doing this for like 3 days. So bear with me. I'll get better as time goes by, and eventually when I get better equipment, like a better mic, then my voice will sound better instead of having that little bit of static in it. Oh, and back to the game. I have my charcoal maker now. I'm actually going to turn that off because I don't need, or I'll leave it on. Because oh sweet, I'm a small village now. The land of America is now a small village. And I'm having a little bit too much charcoal, and eventually later on when I have more housing, I'll obviously need more charcoal. But if I look at the resources, I get plus 11 because I'm not having enough people to go through it. And now I've got more idle people, so I think I'm going to consider building a stockpile. Just a small one, because large stockpiles take a lot of resources. A fire has started. Ooh, that could have been really bad. See, that's why I built that well right there, because in my keep I have if that were to burn down, I think that's game over, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I haven't played this game to the point where I've lost before. I have played it to the point where I had 1,000 people in my civilization, and then I just kind of got bored of it because they hadn't updated it in a while, and now they're consistently updating it, and I'm starting my YouTube account obviously, so I want to bring this to you guys and see what you think. So I need to get a small granary soon, but I might do I want a small, or do I want to it's not a big issue right now. I need a forester because I'm not getting nearly enough wood, and I'm gonna consider chopping down these trees here and putting up another mine, because on every usable stone you can put 2 mines, which I think is a good mechanic instead of just having 1 per. It also kind of frees up the map a little bit, so you don't have to constantly focus on what do you call it, like, words are failing me. You don't have to constantly focus. Must be near usable trees, sire. Where did my train of thought just go? See, this is what happens when you have a really long day and hit your head 1,000 times. Your train of thought completely goes off, and I don't know. It'll come back to me eventually. Or if someone cares to make a comment, and I'll read it and I'll reply to it and say what I was thinking before my train of thought got derailed. But anyways, I need to think about getting more food, I think. How am I doing? Oh, I'm losing a lot to exposure, so that's something I need to get immediately as a granary, because that way I can store more food and not have to worry about it just rotting away and getting bad. So I'm just gonna wait a little while and get that to go through. So I think I've been recording for about 15 minutes now, so I'm gonna record for a little while longer, and I'm gonna kind of show you more in depth of this game because it's really not that far in yet. So as you can tell, I have I didn't really talk too much about like the happiness system, but it's affected by just about everything. So the more advanced your houses are, and the more people that live in your villages, the more resources and the more niceties they'll need. So for instance, you have over in this tab, you've got like churches and libraries, and you've got a tavern and a hospital. Well, the hospital isn't for happiness, but everything else kind of is. And what they'll do is they'll just start to give your people like little buffs. So if you have like a tavern, they'll go drinking, obviously, and it'll use some of your food, but in return, your people will be a lot happier as long as they're within the range to do so. I need to actually consider. Ah, crap! I can't do that yet because I still need my I still need wood. There we go. I now have enough wood for a granary because I'm not gonna just start off with a small granary like a smart person would do. I'm gonna go balls deep on this and hope hope for the best. I also need to think about another house because I've only got one idle person, and I think that's because I've got a bunch of people building this. But obviously you want to constantly be expanding. You don't want to like stagnate. I believe that's the proper word for it. Again, trying to sound smart doesn't ever work for me. And I also kind of want to ask another question for you guys, if anyone actually makes it this far, because I'm curious if people only just watch like the first 3 minutes of my video and then call it a day. Because I am trying with this. I really do want to entertain you guys and just see what you want, see how you want me to make my videos, and just do everything I can to make this a more enjoyable experience for you guys and myself. Because the better the better I get at this, the more enjoyable the videos will be in the long run. And so I think I'm going to start wrapping it up in a little while. I think I'm going to make a farm. That's going to be my goal, like an actual farm. So I've got to wait for that to build, and then I've got to wait to get a couple more people. And the farming mechanic in this game is actually really interesting because you've got the farm here, and they're basic farms. There's nothing complicated about them, nothing special, except that you can build them in this little square, and then you want to put a windmill in the middle because that increases their their production. And I don't remember how much it increases it by, but it's a pretty significant amount. So once I have the resources for that, I'm definitely gonna build that. And do I really have everyone making food? Oh, wait a second. They have job priorities now. Let's see. What do I have? Do I have anyone not working? I don't have quarry workers, so that definitely needs to be moved up. Ah, crap. I need more workers. I didn't think that one through. I'm an idiot. I might have just screwed myself a little bit there. Because I still need stone productions. There's no way around that. But I also need to start producing more food. This is a little overkill this early on. But I'm doing this because I plan on this being the late game. I know I'm not going to make 100 episodes of this. I'll probably make like 10 or 15 before I move on to my next game. But for now, I just want to try to get this as large as I can. My ultimate goal for this series is to have like a civilization that's about 500 people, that kind of spans from this little like lagoon looking thing all the way like to over here, kind of covering like half the map. Because to get a civilization with 1,000, I'd have to cover probably about half the map, honestly. It depends on how well I build everything. Alright, let's see job priority. Do I have... I'm still short granary workers, but that's not too much of a issue. So I hope you guys are enjoying this episode. I actually can build I believe I can build the windmill now. I can. And it's going to be over here. And once that's finished, I'll end the episode, and I'll say my goodbyes and wish you guys the best day you can have. So that'll be done in just a few seconds, so I'll wait for that. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you guys haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing and leaving whatever suggestions and tips and tricks you got for me. And obviously, if you don't like the game, just dislike it or don't watch me play it. If you hate my voice, which I couldn't blame you because my voice kind of sucks, obviously you don't have to watch this. I'm not asking you. Well, I am asking you to watch it. At least give me a chance, but I'm not going to force you to. So, thanks everyone who made it to the end, and I hope you guys have a great day.